Hey, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Kind Express Milk Storage and Feeding System that I use with my daughter Ambry, the twist bag. You can get them on Amazon 40 for $14.99, I believe. They are disposable bags, even though they look nice. They hold 6 ounces or 175 milliliters. What's so special about this bag is that it can be frozen, it can stay in the fridge, it can fit into the bottle shell that comes with the Kind system, and it can turn into a bottle. All you gotta do is put a nipple on it. And the other cool thing about it is that it also comes with direct pump capabilities. I have a Medela pump, so for me, I use the standard adapter. You take the twist bag, you take the cap off, and then you take the adapter and you twist it on. And then for me, like I said, I have the Medela pumping system. Just put that on and you can pump directly into it. Don't like pumping into the bags directly. The first reason for that is because I don't personally have enough suction. It doesn't get me going enough to actually pull out any milk in significant quantities. You can't really tell how much you're getting in there. I've tried to estimate it just based on there, and the best way to tell on the bag alone is if you blow into it and blow it up until it comes all the way out. And the reason for that is that it expands and it gives you a more accurate picture of how much milk you're putting in there. Being a breastfeeding mama, I don't get really to track much of what my child's getting in her intake anyway. So I kind of do like to know when I'm giving bottles at least how much she's taking. It's the only way kind of for me to know how much she can eat in a setting. So what I personally do though is get them into a bottle first, and then I pour them into the twist pouches. I can track exactly how much is going into the bag. So for me, I don't use it, but it is an option for you. Maybe it works better with different pumps. Maybe it's a thing with my nipples personally. I don't know. If you're using them at home and you're using really like good practices, I would say that you could use these twice. You know, rinse them out and put more in there. I'm sure it's not said that that's okay, but I believe you could do that if you were just pouring them in there to use from the bottles themselves. If you were storing them and using them for that fashion and putting them in the freezer, then I would say one use and then throw them away. Next thing I'm going to do is go through a bottle, how to take it apart, and also how to put one together and how to heat it up. As you can see, there are several parts to the Kind system. There's the nipple, which is in green right here, just like that. I personally really like these nipples because it gives the baby a lot to hold on to. My daughter does really well with it. And this is the outside shell, as you can see. It's really hard plastic. What I like about it too is when you're holding it properly, you can see how much is left in there. Also, it kind of helps with the anti-colic and anti-gas because it actually sucks as the baby sucks in. That was another reason why I was saying that you want to blow into it afterwards to check and see how much volume your baby has actually taken out, because otherwise it's going to be inaccurate. It's going to look like they haven't like drank any at all and they've actually drank like almost all of it. And again, there's the twist storage bag in there. So I'm just going to show you how I take this apart, and then I'm going to put it together. Like I said, this is the top of it, and then this is the nipple. So you can take this off, and then once again, this is what the bag looks like when it is clean and fresh and pretty. And then this is a bag that has milk in it. Now, you kind of can see what I'm doing here. I'm unsnapping it from there. And once you unsnap, you can take it out from underneath, just like that. If you look at your milk when you store it, kind of hard to see on here, but you will usually have cream rise to the top of your milk. You're going to want to be really careful with that. Reason for that is that's where all your cream is. That's where your fat is. So you want to slowly mix it together. Now, what's really awesome about the warmer, the Kozi, is that it will do it for you in a way. It will kind of melt it down. So what I like about it is that if you have these bags and you're storing them in the freezer, then you can actually heat them up from frozen. Now, as you can see, this is liquid. This has been in the fridge. Kiinde Kozi. It is my new favorite thing. I think it is really cool. Cap on. I am going to put my pouch in the warmer. The warmer comes with a guide to tell you exactly how much, so I'm going to go over that a little bit later. You want to turn it on. It goes to that. Don't mess up like this. If you don't have it plugged in and you turn on the timer, it'll still click, but it won't be working, so that's not good. Now I have my bag in my Kozi warmer, and I have it going for 2 minutes because it's just a very small amount, so it doesn't need very much. So basically there's a few things you want to look for. You want to make sure that your milk is submerged. You want to make sure that there is a backflow going and that there's water actually going through the back. You also want to make sure that you're completely sealed in whatever you have so that you're not having water get in there. This is the preferred way to heat this up, and I really, like I said, enjoy it because it's a really good way to do it. Now, something that is extremely important about the Kozi is that you want to keep the water constantly going through the overflow. Now, it's hard to tell if it is or not going back through the overflow unless you look at it carefully. So you want more versus less. The cool thing about the Kozi, I believe, is that you can use it with lots of different things. It's made mainly for the bags, but you also can use it with the hard plastic containers or different storage bags. So for me, I've used it to heat up my Medela storage bottles. If you just want the Kozi, you can get that by itself online. If you get the entire system, it's $99. That includes everything. The gift set by itself that does not come with the Kozi, then that's going to be about $40. So it depends on what you want. So we're finished. The timer went off. Now earlier I disassembled the bottle. Now I'm going to put it back together. You take the milk from the Kozi. Get this out of the way. Earlier I talked about the milk and how it separates with the cream. This is a good time to make sure that your cream is mixed back in because, again, it gets your fat, and that's really important. You want your baby to get the fat from your milk. This is also a good time to check the temperature on the outside of it and make sure that it's not crazy hot. I'm going to show you from this side so that you can see, although you'll be holding it towards you this way. So again, the cool thing about the cap is that you can stick it back in here and you'll pull it through, out a little bit, and then just snap it in, just like that. So again, there's a little notch, and snap in. Voila! And then after that, to put the nipple back on, you first want to see how much is in there. Then you can blow on it. And it shows you more accurately how much is in there. Now, this is a very small amount. It is only 25 milliliters, but that's okay because I don't really want to give her a lot when I feed her later. I just blew it all up to see how much was in there. Now I'm going to get all of the air back out. But even if you don't do this, it'll still naturally get it out. I just like to go ahead and get most of it out just to cut back on how much she has to burp in general. Check it on your wrist. You have to actually squeeze the nipple, which is something I like also because the nipple doesn't just like drain out. And some of them do that, and it's not good for the breastfed baby to eat like that. We want them to kind of see it as a supplement. We don't necessarily want it to be something that the baby's like, whoa, I'm getting a whole lot of nice, good food out of this. And there's nothing wrong if you decide to do that, but if you are committed to breastfeeding and you want to be successful breastfeeding and having them at the breast is the best majority of the time. So again, what I like about this is that it doesn't train the baby to treat the bottle as something that is just overflowing with milk and really big meal. They see it more as a snack. They still have to work for it. You want your mom to be having the most milk come out. Now my daughter Ambry's gonna make a cameo, and we are going to show you how we use the bottle to eat. Bottle. Whiny baby. Nipple filled milk. Okay, so you're like, wow, that's really awesome, Jessica, but will my kid take it? I don't know. My kid will. And she's pretty picky about nipples. I've tried several with her, and she's not really a big fan of most of them. And what I like again about this is that she burps so much less than any other bottle and nipple system that I've tried with her. And she does really well with it. And for all the bajillions of reasons that I've talked about in the video. I think it's a really good system. And I think it naturally, as a new mom, helps you to learn about how to take care of your breast milk better. It makes it precious because you're keeping it in one little bag. If you were to pump, then store, then feed, all in one bag. That's the purpose of it. I think a lot of people will be able to use it that way. So as you can see, it looks like she didn't drink all that much, but there's actually probably only about 5 milliliters left in there. So if you're a breastfeeding mother going back to work, I definitely give the Kiinde system a 5 out of 5. And we can get your babies fed at home with breast milk even when you're not there to do it.